U.S. men's national team has a legit shot at making a deep run, says a guy who really gets into soccer every 2 years with the women's.
Right. Into the sport every 2 years, into that team every 4, maybe.
The NBA offseason has its blockbuster and the draft. We'll get into that with Giannis going from Milwaukee to Miami and maybe some sleeper picks we like from the first round of the NBA draft. It's Onorato and Miller, Chris and Ash. Also going to talk with Jake Reinisch, the Shen grad, who has gone from Wake Forest to the ValleyCats, now to the Athletics
getting a shot
organization. Yep, we'll talk with Jake about that opportunity he's got. A lot to do here on the show, just jumping around all over the place. It is a summer sports talk edition. Here we go, O&M.
This is Onorato and Miller, sponsored by Alpenhaus.
All right, Ash, Giannis Antetokounmpo going from Milwaukee to Miami, a 2-time MVP, former NBA champion, scored 50 points in that Game 6 clincher against the Phoenix Suns in 2021. But let's start here with the NBA draft, shall we? We're talking here live on a Wednesday.
Yep.
The first round of the draft was a Tuesday night. I'm so old, I remember when they used to just do this on a Thursday night. First and second round on a Thursday night. That was only, I think, a year or two ago. Here is the top 5. A.J. DeBonsta, no surprise.
Nope.
Goes from BYU to the Washington Wizards. Wizards are getting interesting.
Are they? I don't know. Every time I say that or someone thinks it out loud, it just seems to never come to fruition.
I'm not sure that I love the Trae Young signing. And then Anthony Davis, I'm sure, will not be on the roster, but it's AJ DeBonsta for now to get excited about if you're a Wizards fan.
And that is something to be excited about.
Yes.
Is he good enough to make them relevant? I don't know.
Maybe he's good enough to get guys to want to go there.
I think it takes a little bit of proving that it's all going to be there and that ownership is in on it and not just one guy.
I'll say what everybody else is saying out there. If you're an NBA fan and you're listening to everything like me, you already know this, but the Wizards front office are disciples. They are people who are disciples of the Thunder front office. So they worked under Sam Presti. They are trying to build the Wizards roster in the same likeness, of the Thunder. So we will see.
Interesting.
Positional size. That's what I keep saying. Positional size. We'll see.
I mean, can you compare the two? I don't know. The OKC had a trade that got them first-round picks for days. High first-round picks for days. Yeah. I don't know that the Wizards have that kind of history, but they've got one.
Yeah, and that kind of cache of picks, no, but the philosophy is
this is the team.
Same.
Yeah, and I know this was a while ago, but like Benny Avdia was their big first-round pick. Denny Avdia, sorry. And he's now on another team. It just seems like a history of but not for them.
No.
And that's the difference is it seems like a history of picks, not of necessarily bad players, but players that just haven't worked out for them.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll see. I'm not saying he's not going to work out. He's certainly an NBA ready guy. And somebody that I think he was pretty much a consensus number 1, although I would make arguments for the next 2 picks there to go number 1. And I think those 2 guys would also tell you, I think I should have been number 1, which good for them.
And Utah is building something here. Ace Bailey a year ago. I don't know that they get a deal done with Walker Kessler. That thing is getting kind of ugly. But there are some things to like in Utah. And now you draft a guy like Darren Peterson, who in recent days people are comparing to like the skill set of a Kobe Bryant.
I'll get out of here.
But he's supremely talented in this draft class that is very good 1 through 8 or 9,
Mhm.
however deep you want to look at this thing. Like there are a lot of talented players, freshmen specifically. Peterson's one of them. Okay, he goes to the Jazz at 2. And then you said Cameron Boozer's the other guy who could have made a case to be the number 1 overall pick. He goes to Memphis at 3. Caleb Wilson, who I think has a real chance to be the best player in this draft. Couple 3-4 years from now, he goes to Chicago. Remember when, just one quick aside on Wilson, when he was healthy, North Carolina was a top 10 team in the country.
Yeah.
He gets injured and the Tar Heels fell apart and Hubert Davis loses his job. So Wilson is a really good player. And you know how much I love Keaton Wagler.
I was going to say, he was your favorite player all year long in college basketball.
Certainly my favorite point guard. And he ends up going before any of the other point guards, which surprised me, but it also validates
I was going to
me.
say it should reaffirm what you believed.
Yeah. We talked with Mike O'Donnell a few weeks ago, who was like, no way, man, it's Darius Acuff Jr. And this doesn't change that, right? Like Acuff could end up being the best point guard in this draft, but I have said
but he fell
for a long time that I like Wagler. And so he goes to the Clippers, and this is positional here too.
Right.
The Clippers had the 5th overall pick. Sure, they could have moved down and taken some, but they feel like, you know what? We like Wagler enough to pair him in the backcourt with Darius Garland. We don't need an undersized. We don't need a true point guard sized player in Darius Acuff. We already have him in Darius Garland, and so you pair Wagler with him. Now here's 6 through 10. Brooklyn has a chance to take Acuff. They don't. They go Michael Brown Jr. from Louisville. Acuff to the Sacramento Kings. Kingston Fleming's another one of those freshman guards from Houston. He's going to the Hawks. And then things got interesting here with Dallas because you have Dusty May, who we'll talk about in a moment. Dusty May, just a few days on the job as the Mavericks head coach, taking one of his Michigan guys in Morez Johnson Jr. And it wasn't Adai Mara. It wasn't Yaxel Lendeborg. It was Johnson and then Braden Burries, another freshman.
Also really liked.
Yeah. Another freshman going to Milwaukee, and the Bucks have some work to do. So there's your top 10.
Yeah, the Bucks have work to do, all right.
And we'll talk about the Giannis trade, the return to Milwaukee as well for what they got out of that superstar in Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right, here are some of the other picks that we just kind of like. You like Yaxel to Golden State. Why?
I mean, and we talked about, hey, if there was someone outside of the top 10, who do you like? Well, 11 isn't exactly a stretch. I just like him in general as a player. This is a guy who, and I think both of the guys who I'm going to talk about, Yaxel and Koa Pete, performed best on the biggest stage. Yaxel was great all year long for Michigan, but performed incredibly in the tournament and proved he belonged. He's like a 6'9" power forward who's going to get paired with Steph Curry and Draymond Green on a roster that, yes, is aging. I think his age was actually an issue. He'll be 24 before he plays an NBA game, but it's a guy whose personality you have to love, who was a transfer to Michigan, played at UAB at a lower level, so has kind of been that underdog and then succeeded at Michigan for the year that he was there, has won at every level. And I just think like he's going to fit. A lot of guys are going to fit into that system, but he's going to fit in really well. And he joked, he said, I'm a Kyrie guy, so I always hated Steph, but now I'm going to play with him. He also busted on Draymond about being from Michigan State. So I love him. He's a big dude, but I think he's really skilled and just proved that he can kind of do it all, like I said, on the biggest stage. You like Mara? I mean, Mara's size, what's not to like?
I like Mara. He's 7'3".
Yeah.
And this couldn't have worked out any better for the Thunder, for Mara to fall to them at 12, knowing you need...
Is he too similar to Chet?
No, I don't think so at all. No, Mara will not be afraid to take on Wembanyama. Chet has shown mentally, physically, he is not ready for that fight.
I mean, he's just too skinny.
Yeah, and this will, and look, they have Isaiah Hartenstein, but Mara is, again, he's 7'3". And he's incredibly skilled. He'll learn to shoot it a little bit better, but he's an excellent passer. He moves well. I think he could give – nobody's going to give Wembanyama fits, but he could give Wemby some issues. And if you're throwing Mara, Hartenstein, Chet from time to time –
at him.
This is what the Thunder needed, and it just falls in their lap. It couldn't have worked out any better, in my opinion, for a team that's 1 year removed from a title, but clearly was missing something in that Western Conference Finals against San Antonio. So I don't know if he starts day one, but he will take over the starting center role his rookie year. I feel really convinced of that. Nate Ament, who, again, when healthy at Tennessee as a freshman, super talented. Yeah. And again, we talk about that rebuild kind of in Milwaukee. If you're telling me, hey, look, you may not love the return in the trade for Giannis, but we're going to get you Braden Burries and Nate Ament, there's a lot of upside there.
It's young and it's upside for sure.
Now, Bennett Sturtz, what is there to not like about this guy?
Yep.
He has won everywhere he's played. Iowa got
Every
to the
level.
Elite Eight, I think. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and he started at a place called Northwest Missouri State, and then Drake, and then Iowa, won at all three, excelled at all three, and again, played incredibly well against guys who people are going to say are far more athletic than him.
For sure.
He held his own and was sometimes the best player on the floor in the NCAA tournament.
Really good ball handler, doesn't turn it over, and shoots the three at a high level.
And can set his teammates up.
He's just, I mean, excuse me, SGA, Chet, a healthy Jalen Williams. You throw Sturtz in there with Mara. They traded away Aaron Wiggins in order to free up some cap space. Like the Thunder here, I think have turned their picks to gold once again. Now, you like Pete a lot here at 30. Koa Pete was one of the best freshmen all year long, but he, as we saw in the tournament, he can struggle to score at times. He doesn't shoot it very well. And he slides all the way to 30.
Yeah, and that's why I like him. I don't listen, if he went at 10, I would say I don't like that so much. But this was a guy who he wasn't sure he was going to keep his name in the draft. Did. And I think to get him at 30, it's a guy who he's probably not going to start. Although in Phoenix, you never know. But probably not going to start. Need a little bit of time to kind of get his feet wet in the NBA and get used to it. He's got to work on his shot. You talked about it. But athletically at the combine, he was off the charts in so many ways, minus the shooting. Yeah. So struggled to shoot it, but is a freak of an athlete.
Right.
Won 4 state titles in high school, is a winner, played for Tommy Lloyd. It's a guy who I think just has a lot of upside and can be really good somewhere, but he's going to be a project. He's a little more of a project.
He's NBA body ready. He looked like a man out there the first game of his college career.
Well, that was
this guy is ready for the next level physically. You're right. It's just maybe refining some of those other things. Pete going to the Suns. All right, let's take a break here real quick on Onorato and Miller. We'll come back. We'll talk about that Giannis trade and particularly what it will mean for the Boston Celtics and Jaylen Brown, that relationship, whether or not it is torn at this point. We're back in a minute on O&M.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
You can feel it starting. Longer days, warmer nights, and you're already thinking about that first trip. Just pack up, hit the road, and see where it takes you. The best memories aren't planned, they just happen. So when the season kicks off, we'll make sure you're ready. During our spring camping kickoff, bring home a brand new travel trailer for only $127 a month.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alphen House.
All right, Ash, it is the trade that everybody saw coming. We just didn't know exactly where Giannis was going, whether it was going to be Miami or Boston. It ends up being the Heat, and a blockbuster of a deal. We're talking about a two-time MVP, an NBA champion, 31 years old. He'll turn 32 in December, but still a supremely he's still a top 5 guy. I mean, when he's healthy, yes.
Yeah.
And even when he had a down year last year, like I often wonder, NBA players can be very mercurial. And was it like, I get this on again, off again drama with the Bucks. I'm not necessarily, my heart isn't in it. He still scored 26 points a night.
Not bad.
When he was out there. He still is a force that is largely unstoppable.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that it makes Miami a factor in 2026, 27, Giannis and Bam. And then do you find a way to keep Norman Powell?
Right.
And what are the pieces? Or do you have shooters?
It's what's around you. Like Giannis and Bam are great, but the two of them alone aren't going to get the job done.
Yeah.
So I think there's been a lot of talk about who can you go get? Who can you afford to go get? Some of those middle of the road guys, what does that look like? And it'll be interesting to see who they can put around them, because you're going to need more than just those two guys. But I mean, when I opened the notification, I was like, Giannis got traded. It's like you're scrolling. So this is like, oh, this is everything that's going to Miami. That's a lot of stuff. I was like, you woke up and I think I
going
said
to Milwaukee.
Or Milwaukee, sorry. I was like, they traded like the whole team and then a whole bunch of picks.
Yeah. Well, here it is. It's Tyler Hero. It's Jaime Jaquez Jr. It's Khalil Ware. It's Kasparis Yakachonis. And 4 draft picks. That's 3 ones and a second.
I like those guys too. So maybe Milwaukee isn't as bad off as we think. And maybe it's just a matter of getting whatever pieces are there to figure out who's your starting 5. There's guys who have enough talent to, I don't know if it's like make a deep playoff run, but it might be like a fringe playoff team. You just talked about the picks they made.
Look, I think you have a better shot of selling your fan base on the promise of those picks than you do what are largely role players here. And I know Tyler Hero, I think he's been an all-star. He has a large contract. It's an expiring deal. And so do you have to now give him a contract in order to keep him happy? I don't know, but you're a smallish market franchise. You won a title in 2021.
Yep.
The end of the road was there for Giannis and the Bucks. It was ending. So I'm not saying you take what you get, because I think you could have gotten Jaylen Brown. And for me, when I look at, I see these names, okay, maybe you're getting more players, but you're not getting the best player that was potentially available in that trade offer. So anyway, Giannis in Miami, Pat Riley does it again. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Where do they stack in the East? Is Detroit still better? Is Cleveland still better? When Halliburton comes back, are the Pacers still better? Is Boston still better? We'll talk about Jaylen Brown and the Celtics in a moment here. The Knicks are still better. I'm up to 5.
Yeah,
what about the Orlando Magic? Are the Magic better?
Probably not. But that's 5 teams, and you're talking about a top 5 player moving to that. So like you were saying, hey, a top 5 player makes a move, and still that team is not a top 5 team in the East.
Potentially.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, potentially. Right. Miami, I think, was the 10th in the East at the end of this year. And the East is certainly competitive.
And now, Dirty, Difficult, and Done. Sponsored by Performance Industrial.
Performance Industrial, where there's never a job too dirty or too difficult for them to get it done. Bill Miller and his great squad there. All right. We got a difficult situation in Boston here with the Giannis trade. Celtics and Jaylen Brown. This is the second time publicly, anyway, we know that Brown has been bandied about and
dangled.
Thank you. Like that word better. I don't know that you repair this relationship, and it feels like maybe the Celtics in general are ready to move on from the Brown-Tatum experiment, which it's not an experiment. They won a title. But it is interesting how quickly feelings change about, right? I mean, they gave him a 5-year, $304 million contract after that championship. So he's got 3 years left on that deal. It's a tradable contract because he's an all-NBA type player.
He is. And
but this is it? Like, this is it?
Here's my thing. He's maybe the most mistreated player in the NBA. Like, this is a guy who has done and said all of the right things. Like you said, he's been dangled once already. Yeah. This is time number 2. All he did last year was make you a title contender without Jason Tatum on your team when you were basically resigned to not even making the playoffs. And this is how he gets treated. I feel so bad for this guy. I hope he gets traded somewhere where they treat him like a number 1 player, because he does have the ability to be a number 1 player. He's just taken a back seat to Jason Tatum's too often. So I hope he gets a chance somewhere else, because clearly he's not valued in Boston the way he should be. I understand if you have the chance to get a guy like Giannis, you need to give something back. But
sure. And look, if I said to you today, Brown is 29, Giannis is 31, who would you rather have, Brown or Giannis? You're taking Giannis, aren't you? No. Oh.
I don't know. Like we said, this guy's done everything.
Okay.
He's tried to win on his own. Giannis hasn't been able to do that. Giannis just complains about all the players he doesn't have around him.
I'm just looking at teams here and what maybe makes sense for Boston and Jaylen Brown. Do you try to trade him out of the conference?
Probably.
If you can move him to the West, that would make sense. I mean, imagine somehow, and I'm not a capologist here. I don't pretend to know how this stuff works, but imagine Jaylen Brown going to Dallas.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah.
Right. Dallas has a lot of young rookie contracts there.
Right.
Kyrie is on the back end of a deal and perhaps the back nine of his career. Imagine Jaylen Brown going to Dallas.
Yeah, I think there are a few places that you could think of him going. You just have to think about, okay, well, what are they giving up to get him there?
I mean, I'd rather have Jaylen Brown than Kevin Durant in Houston. You're right. You're going to have to part with some
right.
things.
So you're thinking of adding him to a team as is. That's not going to be the case.
Right.
But yeah, he would be a guy that I would love to see get a chance. I mean, sure, go be a number 2 somewhere, but I would take him as my number 1.
It doesn't feel like he's going to be playing for Boston this year.
Listen, I hope not for his sake, because clearly.
And to me, that's exciting. Like that means
somewhere
we
else.
get another big deal this offseason in the NBA before we.
And
tip
if
things
not,
off in
how
October.
does that work? Tough.
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's happened before.
It's tougher on the players' end to swallow your pride and go, all right. I'm sure he loves his teammates enough to go out there and play, but when you feel like you're disrespected by management, that's a tough pill to swallow, and then say, okay, I'll get back out there and give it my all.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break here on O&M. We will come back. Let's talk with Jake Reinisch, who is going from the Joe to the show,
all right,
as they say. Shen grad, played with the Cats this year and last year. His power's been on full display, and it caught the attention of the athletics organization. Talking with Jake next, who is in Arizona for some rookie ball and then headed to Class A. Back in a minute.
Maybe this journey you're on has a purpose much greater than yourself. A purpose that goes beyond the field, the court, the gym. A crown awaits those who never give up. It's your time to dream again, to claim victory, and rise up. So what are you waiting for? It's time to rise. Claim your crown.
Summer feels better on a Yamaha. The 2026 Yamaha boat lineup is here at Alpenhaus Boats. Built for relaxing, cruising, water sports, and making the most of every day on the water. With sleek design, confident handling, and smart features throughout, Yamaha delivers performance you can feel and comfort everyone can enjoy. See the 2026 lineup today and discover why nothing feels like a Yamaha. Alpenhaus, the Northeast premier outdoor destination.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Back on Onorato and Miller, Jake Reinisch with us now. The NBC in his hometown of Albany, New York, now in Arizona with the athletics organization. Jake, congratulations, man.
I appreciate it. I'm grateful for this opportunity.
I read, and this surprised me, that you kind of felt like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I aged out of affiliate ball and I'll play Frontier League baseball for as long as I can or want. How much did this call really blindside you?
Yeah, when you're in independent ball, it's kind of a tricky situation with trying to figure out what will get you signed, what won't. We have a joke like on the team, you either got to throw 95 or be a catcher. I can't throw 95, so I better learn how to be a catcher. So we messed around with that. But yeah, I mean, I was just trying to play well for the ValleyCats, enjoy playing. And then next thing you know, I'm on a plane to the other side of the country. So it's crazy how fast it can happen.
Well, clearly, if you rake at the plate, a team, an organization will find you. You were doing that last year with the Cats. You were doing it early this year as well. How do you feel you're playing? Like, obviously, you had a huge senior year at Wake. Do you feel like you're playing some of your best baseball, seeing the ball as well as you have at the plate?
Yeah, it's always, you always want to continue to get better. Knock on wood, but I've had a stretch of a few years where I've been able to be healthy. My first 3 years at Wake, I got injured every single year. And since then, I've only had one like minor injury, so I haven't really missed much time the past 3 years. And that includes not only, getting experience on the field, but being consistent with working out, and just continuing to progress in that regard as well. So yeah, I felt like I was just continuing to get better, and that's what I'm going to try to continue to do, even here.
Won a sectional title with Shen in 2019. Covered that, obviously, at News Channel 13. You say you play a game tonight as we talk to you here on a Wednesday. Are there nerves?
I don't know if I'm going to be in there tonight. I know I'm going to be at the game, but because it's my first actual time with the team today, because I had a lot of physicals yesterday. I think I'd be lying to say if there wasn't a little bit of nerves, but really this is just, I'm going to go out there and just try to have fun. This is not something where I'm like, oh, if I fail, I'm going to, be miserable. It's nothing like that at all. This is just icing on the cake, something that I didn't know if I would get the opportunity to do. And I was fine with not. I was at peace with the game of baseball. I love playing for the ValleyCats. So whatever time I have here, obviously I'll do my best to stick around as long as I can. But yeah, there would be definitely a little nerves, but not much pressure, I would say.
You got incredible perspective on life, man, at 24 years old. Why? How is that in you this young?
It's not me. It's not me. I just put faith in the Lord, and when he said, we have a quote in the ValleyCats locker room, when God says move, you move. So I just try to approach every day with gratitude and understand that, to say that I deserve this. A lot of people have been texting me like, you deserve this, you deserve this. I disagree. I don't think I do. I think it's all from grace, and I'm appreciative of this opportunity.
I mean, you were getting your graduate's degree, you have your graduate's degree, you were helping to coach, you were in the process of teaching as well. And here you are, man, with the athletics organization. I can tell already you're going to enjoy the heck out of this. So I hope that you certainly do. And it'll be fun watching you from afar a little bit. I know you've got a bus to catch. I'm going to let you run and get ready for that. But we'll be watching for sure, Jake. And after Arizona, wherever it takes you to Class A, either of those two locations, man, best of luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
For 62 years, Alpenhaus has helped families make more time for each other, away from the rush, away from the routine, and closer to the moments that matter. Because an RV isn't just about where you go. It's about having a place where everyone can come together. It's our 62nd anniversary sale, only at Alpenhaus, the Northeast premier outdoor destination. Don't put off that first trip. Right now, get this Coachman Leprechaun motorhome for as little as $575 a month.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Ash, Jake Reinisch had 6 home runs this year in 20 games.
Okay.
He had 20 home runs last year in 78 games and like 56 RBIs. I mean, the guy's been terrific at the plate. And so his joke is like, you throw 95 or you're a catcher, but if you're hitting the cover off the ball the way he has,
you get a chance.
Yeah, which is awesome to see. And to hear him say, like, I didn't think this would happen. And I was okay with that.
Yeah.
And sometimes
I
when you
that.
let go, like maybe even back to last year, he was like, I've had so many injuries in my career. I'm happy just to be healthy and playing baseball and realizing some of my professional potential that, like, I don't know.
Yeah. That has to just be a cool, I mean, it takes the pressure off of you if you really believe that, and he seems like he does.
Yeah.
When he said, like, I'll be nervous, but it's not pressure. I don't feel like I deserve this or that I'm owed it. I just am grateful for it. I'm at peace if this is where it ends. Like, there are so many guys who can't get to that place, which is why it's such a struggle. And that makes you think maybe that is why he's had the ability to take the next step and for it. Like, it's nice that it was kind of a surprise to him. And if you continue to hit like that in A-ball, you might be moving.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, look, I'm hoping he plays for as long as he wants
to.
At this point.
And baseball's a good life. If you can play a game for a career, all those guys would tell you, like, I'm pretty lucky. Now you want to make money to be able to do it, but it's a cool thing to be able to play a sport for a living.
Yeah. U.S. men's national team back on the pitch Thursday night, late night,
super late
for us
Might
East
as well
Coasters.
Be Friday.
And they aren't playing Turkey. They're playing Turkey. I didn't know. That's apparently the correct international pronunciation, or are we just making things up at this point? I was going to say,
is that what Turkey calls itself?
Maybe.
A lot of times you use
Deutschland,
the proper version of what a country calls itself, or the people of that country call it.
Yep.
We just make everything easy. Just do Turkey, like the animal.
I don't mind easy. 2-0. And Christian Pulisic showing all the signs of being ready if necessary.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't. They've already got the top spot in Group D. They will play a third place squad in the round of 32. So not that you would use a Sharpie on a bracket, but you could look at the path and pencil the Americans in to the round of 16.
Okay.
Which to me is a nice place to reach in this World Cup, having
missed the last one. Yes, I'd say that's pretty good.
But to me, that feels like anything short of that would be a real disappointment.
Yeah, especially for as easy as their group is,
right?
Technically,
Very.
like it's not like they pulled off some surprises in group play and had this really tough group, and now you're asking them to win a couple more, and like, whoa, that's a challenge.
Yep. So can they get to the semis? That's the big thing for me. You need a little bit of
you're gonna have to beat
bracket
somebody. You're
luck
gonna have to
here
beat somebody who's
because
better
you
than
have to avoid the Argentina,
Yeah.
France, Spains of the world.
They're gonna have to play somebody who's better than them.
No doubt.
And I don't trust them to win a game against a team that's better than
like
them.
England.
Yeah, any
potentially.
team that's better than them, to be quite honest. Like it feels like a team who will beat the teams that they should beat, but who will not beat the teams that they shouldn't, if that makes any sense. Like they are exactly who you would think they would be.
Yeah.
Maybe no surprises, no surprises in the bad way, no surprises in the good way.
I don't know if I and we in general are getting sucked into the hope of this here, that like
we always think we're better than we are. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
There is some talent on that team for sure, but we don't know enough about soccer we don't see enough soccer outside of this country and see those international stars on a daily basis to be able to compare and contrast when you're not on the same field.
Yeah.
Wait till they get on the same field.
I know. It'd be nice to think like, well, if they get a Portugal in the round of 16, they could maybe beat Portugal. Or England is playing down to competition so far in this World Cup. Maybe that the stars are showing up. How good is this? Messi at 38 years old.
Ridiculous.
5 goals in the 2 games Argentina has played. Kylian Mbappe, who is only like 2 goals behind Messi for the most World Cup goals of all time, has
and he's
4
younger
goals
by a good amount.
Yeah, you think he's 10 years younger. 4 goals in 2 games, and Ronaldo still out there getting it done. Harry Kane has a couple of goals in 2 games as well for England. So the stars are showing up on the biggest stage, which is so important, right? When you have the World Cup, you need the stars.
Those teams can't win without those guys.
Yeah. And now we look at the odds here. We did this a week ago. We'll do it here. The U.S. has gone from 15th shortest odds to 9th shortest odds, and all 9 are on your screen
Still
here.
plus 3,000.
Yeah, I didn't value. I didn't skip any spots here. We go France, Spain, England still there. Argentina, Portugal, Brazil, Germany, the Netherlands, and the U.S.
I got really into England when I lived there for 3 months. You would have thought I was British.
Did you go accent?
No, but still, like I came home with the flag of England, put it on my wall.
Boy.
Like I had an English a jersey, and was like, I might as well cheer for them. We stink at soccer, so it was fun to cheer for them.
Okay.
I wouldn't cheer for them.
We're celebrating 250 years of our independence this year. You know?
Yeah, this year. I'm not gonna cheer for them now. I was in college. The days of David Beckham and
yes.
It was very exciting.
So we'll see if Pulisic plays Thursday night. Again, we're doing the show live on a Wednesday. I heard Casey Keller, former U.S. keeper, say you've got to get him out there a little bit.
Yeah, give him a little run.
He's back to full training. You got to play him 20, 30 minutes. You don't want him to sit a full 3 weeks before he then has to play in the knockout round. So sounds like he's healthy enough to go. I would assume he'll play a little bit. And I don't know, do you start him and pull him? Do you put him in as a sub later?
I was going to say, maybe. It's hard because you have so few subs in the game of soccer.
But you don't need to win.
I get it.
You know.
Yeah. The thing is, if you put him in late and the game's in the bag, then you're just playing keep away.
Yeah.
So I think maybe you put him in early, but then anybody gets hurt, you're in trouble.
And look, I would like to see the U.S. play aggressively to win because it's all about positioning on that bracket.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. All right. We didn't talk about this yet. We alluded to it a little bit. Dusty May, what a meteoric rise for this guy. He leaves Michigan for the Dallas Mavericks head coaching job. This one, hit me completely out of the blue. Not that I shouldn't have thought he could be an NBA head coaching candidate. I just didn't hear his name being thrown around for the openings in Dallas or Portland, and then all of a sudden, boom, May to the Mavericks. And look at the resume.
It makes me wonder: is there something shady going on? Like, is the hammer coming down on Michigan for something that he's like, I'm out. I'll see ya. Won my title.
There's not. Yes. 3, 4, 5 years ago,
he had all transfers.
Would have thought that as well. Here's the problem.
You don't get in trouble for anything.
There's nothing illegal anymore. There is nothing illegal in the NCAA anymore. You can pay anybody anything you want. They pretend like there's a cap. There isn't.
Yeah.
It is, again, people use NIL incorrectly, but it is where we are. This is not name, image, and like. It's pay to play. You don't have to do anything other than play or be on the roster in order to earn that money. So there's nothing he could, academic ineligibility, who cares?
Right.
Nobody anymore.
No.
So I'm with you. 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, yes, I think a lot of people would have thought, boy, what's coming down? But you go from FAU was his first head coaching job.
Yeah, and I think if you just think like, I've achieved all I can achieve, I won a national championship, but like,
I just, he isn't yet 50 years old. He will turn 50 this year.
God, he seems young.
And yet that is young in coaching.
No, I know, but he seems younger. I know he's like gray, but he still seems young. He's got a baby face.
And yet I think a lot of guys, Ash, are like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this year in and year out, rebuilding a roster, trying to negotiate contracts with players in college. Like, I got Cooper Flag for 4 more years. Awesome.
Right. And you know who your team is. You don't have to, and you have to.
It's not like the money is better. College programs pay their coaches well.
Yeah. And you're trying to, I get you're trying to convince them to stay, but that's only after a contract is done. And that's the job of somebody else. Like, somebody's got dealing with all the money and all of the wooing and luring and whatever. And if you can't convince people to come play with Cooper Flag, then it's probably not going to go well for you anyway.
Yeah.
I think he may. Here's the deal. If in 3 years this team still isn't any good, he's going to find out quickly that teams move on. National championships by time in college basketball.
And in 3 years, if Dallas decides this isn't our guy, guess what? He will be the top guy to go back into the college game.
Yeah.
Indiana seemingly always needs a head coach. He's been linked to that job a number of times already because he didn't play there, but he went there. I'm sure that job will be open in 3 years, and Dusty May can take it if he wants. It just, it feels like there will be a job waiting for him back in the college game if that's what he needs to do.
But then once you
hard
get
to bounce
out of
back
that,
and forth, I get you.
Once you get out of that, how good and how easy is it to then go in 3 years from now? Think about how different it probably is going to be than it already is now.
Yeah. Anyway, that one surprised me. I like him. Seems very likable.
Me too, yeah.
And I like Cooper Flag. It'd be great to see that kind of work out in Dallas. You know where it isn't working out? It's not working out in college, and it's not going to work out in the NFL, at least not right away, for Brendan Sorsby. The NFL has decided it's not going to hold a supplemental draft this year. Sorsby applied for entry into the supplemental draft 3 days before the deadline. The NFL said, we don't have enough time to look at what has happened with you here, to review kind of things and decide, whether or not you should be eligible for this. You were just not going to do it. And now Sorsby is left out in the cold because in order to be eligible for the supplemental draft, he had to make himself ineligible with the NCAA. So he cannot play for Texas Tech or any other school, and he can't go to the NFL. So he'll sit for the year. He's lucky he plays a position that's as coveted as quarterback. And so he'll become part of that class in 2027. If he were a wide receiver or a running back, or those positions where age doesn't really favor, like you'd think, well, I don't know that he ever really gets a good crack at this thing. But if he's eligible, if the NFL isn't going to suspend him at the start of 2027, certainly a team will be ready to take. What a mess.
Yeah,
what a mess. I mean, he was suspended for 2 games, ready to continue to play. And then the Big 12 and all these other teams and conferences say, don't schedule Texas Tech. It's hypocritical on one level. I don't know that I feel bad for the kid. Like you can't be at Indiana betting on or against your team, even if you aren't playing. You just can't do it, man. So it's hopefully a lesson learned. And I'm not saying he shouldn't get a chance in the NFL. He should absolutely get a chance in the NFL. Right. And I think he will. Look at some of the names here that'll be part of that 2027 quarterback draft class. Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Lenora Sellers, Trinidad Chambliss are all for sure going to the NFL.
Pretty good.
Then you get underclassmen like CJ Carr, Jaden Mayava, also who will likely go to the draft. And then you throw Brendan Sorsby in there, and people will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could we have 7, 8 first-round quarterbacks?
Get out of here. By the end of this year, it'll be down to 4.
Ooh.
And then the rest would be second round.
Who
round.
Won't be a first rounder out of this group? Let's put Sorsby in. So I've got 7 on your screen with Sorsby. Oh, okay.
No Sorsby. No CJ Carr. Boy, if I had to take something, because maybe he doesn't even come out.
Okay.
I don't know. You're going to take either Chambliss or maybe Chambliss is too small. His size works against him. Yeah. And even I feel like even Mayava could come out of there too. So maybe it's just Arch, Dante, and Lenoris who are. But there have been people who
weren't on the preseason list.
Like they're not on this list that are going to all of a sudden be on this list in 4 months from now. So yeah, if I had to say, like, no way it's going to be 7, but 3 or 4 is probably a pretty sure bet.
Yeah. What is the record? Is 7 the record?
Maybe
was the 7 the and I do. I'm terrible at this. We have friends who are great at remembering what
picks.
Player got picked in what year into what team. No, I am not good at that.
It's a fun game though.
But I do know that an absurd number of quarterbacks went the year Michael Penix went to the Falcons.
Oh yeah.
And it might have been 7. I'm not good at this game.
Okay.
But I feel like that was kind of the record that was set.
Yeah. What do you think?
Manning, Moore, Carr, if he comes out, will for sure. I think
the name will do it.
CJ Carr could push to be the second quarterback taken in the draft if he comes out.
Yeah, because here's the deal. Like, if Arch has a ho-hum season, he might still go in the first round because he's Arch Manning.
He might still go number 1 because of the potential.
I get it. But don't you want, if he has a ho-hum season, don't you want somebody who's going to blow the doors off or who has an incredible season? I'll take that guy. Yeah. And then let me, a team who's a project or who needs a backup for now, take Arch Manning and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Manning, Moore, Carr. I think
Sellers is, I think for sure.
I think Sellers. I think Sorsby. So what are the 5?
Yeah. I have a hard time believing anyone is going to trust someone coming off a full year off.
Yeah.
No playing for a full year and you're going to throw them back in pads. I don't think anyone's risking a first round pick on that.
Okay.
I think you'd be crazy to.
Okay. I feel like we've seen guys get drafted after missing most of a year because of an injury. Sorsby's he's going to be as healthy as could be.
Yeah, but not around football.
But not having
played.
He's
not going to sit on a sideline and listen to things. I mean, he'll probably watch football like a fiend.
Yeah.
But it's a little different. It's an inch. I mean, I can't remember any time this has ever happened.
I feel, June 24th? I feel like I'm ready for college football season.
I'm ready for all of football.
You are?
Always.
Always?
I wish they would play football all the time.
Wow.
But I'm not ready for the summer to be over, so I can wait.
No, yeah.
I know football, like I already thought, like, ooh, it's chilly football season. It's not, and I don't want it to be because I love the summer.
We were talking about this morning on the news. It's like, okay, Christina's looking at the 7-day forecast. And, when we get to this time next week, it'll be July 1st. And it's like, oh my gosh. And when you think about it, I'm sure you feel this now in your new job where you look at school summers, even though you work through the summer. It's only July and
It's
August.
2 months.
It's 2 months.
It's 2 months. And
This
then you're
idea
back.
that it's like, 90 days. It isn't. It's 2 months. And it isn't even really 2 months.
8 weeks of time.
It's like, it's July and it's some of August. We get into the preseason. College football starts earlier than it ever has before. Like, summer has shrunk so much.
Yeah, that will make it feel shorter. So it's crazy. Labor Day is like the latest it's ever been. We don't go back to school till like September 10th. So like you're almost talking middle of September at that point. So really you're talking 9+ weeks. But when college football starts so early and in August, that is automatically like, ooh, fall is here.
Yeah.
And preseason starts in the NFL. But yeah, it does feel short because you think about like, oh, you get 2 weeks of vacation and then that's 6 weeks and time flies. It's crazy.
Bills' new stadium is ready to go, and the first public event that will be held there is August 8th, the Bills' inaugural scrimmage, the red and blue or blue and red scrimmage, whatever they're calling it. First look at that stadium, $2.1 billion, and built in a lot of ways like a European soccer stadium would be. It's got that 360-degree canopy that covers a lot of the fans.
But not all.
Not all. Yeah, but so it allows for the elements to affect the
in.
play, but maybe not the fans. The concourse is heated. There is above seating heating in that stadium
the regular
as well.
Fans don't even want it.
The roof apparently has snow melt sensors.
That makes sense.
So they've thought of,
I tell people stories. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
The Carrier Dome, back when it was the Carrier Dome, and when I was in school, we would practice in the Carrier Dome on occasion during the winter. It would be like 96 degrees in there.
Oh.
Because they were trying to melt the snow off the roof because there was you've got that dome, which is like
collapsible.
It's a collapsible. It's not like you would think. It's not like a balloon, but it's collapsible and it's not a heated roof. So they would just crank the heat on the inside and you would be just sweating, practicing while they try to melt the snow off the roof. It was crazy.
Okay. Well, yeah, for $2.1 billion, you can do a little bit better than that. And that's what they got going in Buffalo. So that'll be August 8th, the first event public in the brand new stadium. All right. Final time out here on Onorato and Miller. We'll come back and talk about the U.S. Open champion, Wyndham Clark. Had to beat the golf course and the fans, as well as Scotty Scheffler. Back right after this.
Days like this don't happen by accident. They happen on a tracker. Alpenhaus Boats, Route 30 in Amsterdam.
Maybe this journey you're on has a purpose much greater than yourself. A purpose that goes beyond the field, the court, the gym. A crown awaits those who never give up. It's your time to dream again, to claim victory, and rise up. So what are you waiting for? It's time to rise. Claim your crown.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
One note on Novice there real quick, Ash, you just saw the commercial and sponsor of the show, and they have been for a very, very long time, raised more than $40,000 at their annual volleyball tournament, the Cat 16.
The Cat 16.
Blood Cancer United, a beneficiary of that fundraiser, as well as the new Claim Your Crown Foundation that Nick and Garrett Bernardo started with Novice. So big night of volleyball. It was a lot of fun to be part of. I missed it last year, but back to it this year. It's a long event.
It is. But the weather held out.
But the weather was great. The competition is really good. I mean, get some high-level volleyball players there. So it is. And we say this all the time. Volleyball, when played well, is a really fun sport.
Yeah, no doubt. I cannot play it well.
Me neither. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in a long time.
I mean, I I don't think
the
I've ever
bumping
played
and the
well.
setting and the
Used to hurt my arms. I'd be like, I'm such a wuss.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruise the arms.
Wyndham Clark wins his second U.S. Open. Difficult golf course, Shinnecock on Long Island.
Really difficult.
You're laughing at me here, right?
Why?
And he then also has to, Ash, beat the crowd.
Oh, crowd. Yes. I'm not laughing. I wasn't actually.
So which one do you want to take? You got a shot out here first. The Clark being able to win his second U.S. Open because of how difficult those golf courses set up to be?
Every piece of the weekend that I watched, which wasn't a ton, but it was enough, I felt like someone was playing out of a bunker, out of the fescue, out of the rough, hitting it into there wasn't much water, but hitting it into some water. Like, it felt like nobody could get out of their own way, and all you saw was flags blowing sideways. So the wind was a factor, and they were showing how they were set up in triangles, which was really fascinating. Yeah. 3 holes set up in triangles. So every hole you get to, the wind is blowing a different way and hard. So every hole you have to account for that and set. Like, it just seemed, it was the first one that I thought, my God, that seems really difficult. It seems like it's already a difficult game. This seems particularly difficult. So props to him and I get it. He had a 6 or 7 shot lead and had to hang on for dear life, but all that matters is that he did it. Nobody asks you how much.
How they ask you.
How much? Yeah.
And
Not
what,
how
only
much.
3 guys finished under par, I believe, at the end of the day. Scotty Scheffler was not one of them. Scotty played in the final pairing with Wyndham Clark. And he said afterwards, Scotty did, like, man, New York fans are tough. And we saw this last year at the Ryder Cup where they were like merciless with Rory McIlroy especially. And now with Wyndham Clark, an American who already has a U.S. Open title. I mean, they were brutal. We got dogs doing stuff in the neighborhood here.
Bluey's running free.
Oh my gosh. I mean, they were brutal on this guy.
Yeah.
And he brings some of it on himself, but and I love a good like ribbing of a professional athlete, right? In competition and within bounds. But this doesn't happen in golf. No. If this were an NBA game and every time the guy touches the ball, they're booing, right? Like that, it happens, it's expected. But in golf, which is supposed to be a gentleman's sport in a way,
it's supposed to be quiet and polite.
I don't know that this fits. It strikes me as a little overdone, out of bounds. And if you're Wyndham Clark, like if you walked off the 18th green with double barrel, up at the crowd, like I wouldn't have been surprised. He took the higher road here.
Yeah.
But
sometimes you get you just have to deal with it. Fans, you're supposed to be bigger than the fans.
No doubt. It's tough though when you've got hundreds or thousands of them, cheering your bad shots and really not applauding your good shots.
Yeah, it's got to make you feel better when you hit one. Yeah. It's like you have to mentally double barrel it and just be like, take that. So the silence is what has to then fuel you.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a professional athlete, you just have to be built differently.
You're right about that.
Not all of them
especially as a golfer, when it's just you out there, like these singular sports, golf, tennis, for you to go out there and like handle it mentally.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be soft.
Second U.S. Open title for Wyndham Clark. Pretty impressive.
Very.
Scotty Scheffler still chasing that career slam.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Onorato and Miller. Everybody have a great weekend. When we see you next week, it will be July.
Oh my goodness.
Think
Look out.
about that. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time on O&M.